the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded from Detroit, Michigan, and Jacksonville, Florida. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, album reviews, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Hey there, it's Russ, it's Michelle, it's Kyle, it's the Infectious Groove Podcast, and I'm trying a little twist on to something different here at the start of the show. Right before I hit record, I told Michelle what we talked about last week, so let's all listen in to the hamster that runs in Michelle's brain and find out if she remembers. Michelle, what did we talk about last week?
Well, we talked about an album because you ruined it, and you said that there's a lot of people who are mad at my rating, but oh, In Excess.
That's correct. Very, very good. I'm excited that you remember.
That was faster than I thought it was going to be.
I think you set a record for yourself. So
I did?
Yes, we did. We talked about the massive album In Excess Kick, which nearly everyone on planet Earth adores, except for you. And in our feedback, we'll find out at least one other person.
Yes, I'm not alone.
Well, yeah, you're not. So, having said that, this week is going to bring us a fun topic that we will have more than a little bit to talk about with, and we thought we would take it easy with a topic that's fun to discuss. And so this week, for the main topic of the show, we are going to talk about songs of the summer and have fun discussing what we even think the definition is and some of our favorites and why and so on. But before we get into all of that, we, of course, have feedback to share from last week, which I think nearly all of it is Michelle-centric. Let's get into it.
Feedback, John.
Don't worry about that. Right. How would rock and roll be without feedback?
First piece of feedback coming in from Dave says, 6? A 6?
That's it.
That's what he opened with, and then he retweeted a couple of minutes later. And this, by the way, Dave is one of the foremost leaders of the hashtag Michelle is awesome movement on Twitter. So Dave follows up with, I think I need to rethink every decision I've ever made regarding awesomeness. My sincerest apologies to both you and Kyle.
No. Oh, I'm just kidding. It was more than a 6.
Moving outside of the Michelle-centric feedback for a second, Jamie Porter writes in and says, I'm 90% sure all of you have heard Steve and Seagulls. They are the Swedish bluegrass band that did the cover of Thunderstruck a few years back that was all over social media, which I do remember. Once he mentioned that, yes, I do remember that.
That does sound kind of familiar.
Yeah, actually. Kyle, for sure. I know you know it. And Michelle, that was during the period where we were listening to every version of Thunderstruck available. So I'm certain that we heard it at some point. Right on.
Maybe.
Mike Downing, Chicago Mike, writes in and says, well, at least 2 of the 3 IGP crew got it right. Sometimes you kick, sometimes you get kicked. Now, Michelle, that is, of course, a line from the the title track from one of your favorite albums, In Excess Kick.
Yeah, my favorite album. Mm-hmm.
Sean and Chris, the Dad to Rock podcast, who are always very supportive of us and give us all sorts of feedback, come in on this one and say, Russ, I tried to listen to this album. I got to Mystify and had to stop. It just wasn't my thing. I may rate this album lower than Michelle, ... The ominous ... I know. Anthony Taylor's version says to us, so regarding your album view of Kick, first I want to say I think Odd Pods Media needs to do a family intervention for Michelle to get her an audiologist. Anthony says, Michelle, that he is not even going to acknowledge the score you gave.
But it happened, though.
It did. He goes on to say, all kidding aside, though, this episode was absolute gold, covering what is, in my opinion, one of the best albums to come out of the 80s, top to bottom, not one single skip. Guns in the Sky is easily one of the best album openers and is easily one of my standout picks from the album. I can't even pick a specific favorite song from the album because every song just rocks. From the moment I first played the cassette, which I practically wore out back in the day, the opening track just grabbed me and set me up for what was to come. If Michael Hutchence hadn't sadly passed away so young, there's no telling what In Excess would have become or accomplished musically. To this day, the album is an album I still play often. I never tire of it. The album is a 10 out of 10 for me. So, Michelle, you respectfully disagree with all of that.
Well, I didn't know he was deadsies.
You didn't know that Michael Hutchence had passed away.
No, was I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, generally
Yes,
when one of the greatest to ever do it passes away, it's a thing people remember.
You didn't mention
I will
that
say
on the show.
I totally agree with them. It was I think was absolutely one of the best albums that come out of the 80s.
Yeah, for sure. If the entire decade starts at a 6 and goes down from there, I guess Michelle agrees.
Well, it goes up from Pet Sounds.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There is a podcast in Australia called the In Excess Podcast, Access All Areas, and they have not only been supportive of us in the past, but they did not ask for this plug, but I'm going to shamelessly plug them. If you are interested in In Excess, you want to hear more, not only are they very passionate fans and very knowledgeable about the band, but they have also interviewed several members of In Excess over the years. They have an upcoming interview soon with their with In Excess's drummer. So it's just a fantastic show in the first place. And they took a listen to our episode and said that on the reference to what's on the cover of Kick, it's Tim that used the skateboard while playing the guitar and all the boys got into it off stage. Skateboarding was huge back then. Nick Egan, who produced the Kick cover, came on our show and did a great interview. He was best friends with Michael and recalled Michael skateboarding down the street to the ferry where they lived together for a while, amongst other stories. That, again, another plug for their show that you can go check that out. So I thought that was interesting, Kyle, that somebody listened to the episode that actually knew some info about your you're being curious as to why the cover had that stuff on it.
Mystery solved.
Detention. Michelle, you have another person in your very lonely corner. It says, I kind of agree with Michelle. When I hear Guns in the Sky, I just can't get past the opening grunts because I always picture Michael Hutchins having terrible time with constipation, and it ruins it for me. So I
hadn't thought of it like that, but I will now.
I replied to D and I said, you're only going to encourage her talking like that. And then he replied and said, right, it was even a struggle for me to type the words, I kind of agree with Michelle. I have to be the first person in the history to put those words together to form that sentence.
You guys have fucking jokes.
Kelly Madden writes in and says, I love this episode, 5 stars. Michelle had me giggling right from the very beginning. Great banter and also a very cool album review, which I thought was nice. Docking Bay Podcast, who always is nice enough to drop us a note, says, another entertaining episode. Thank you for picking this album to review. I'd never heard the whole thing until now. Aside from the singles, I really dig the song Mystify and the title track. Thanks for always being the best part of my Monday, which is wonderful. I love when they sign their messages to us in that fashion. Lastly, this is Notorious MN 1992, who we have talked about for the past couple of weeks. It's a newer listener of ours from Iran, and he had asked me to mention his actual name on the show instead of just his username, which I will do, but I will be honest with you and say I don't want to just come off as a dumb American, and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this, so I'm not sure if it's Mohammed Reza or Mohammed Reza. So if you would please maybe give the dumb American a phonetic spelling going forward so I don't show any disrespect to you. But I'm assuming it's Mohammed Reza. He writes in and says, first of all, I want to thank you for reading my comments. To be honest, here in my country, just about nobody listens to the songs that are not in our language. So I feel great when I can talk to some people about real music. Second, tell Kyle that the 1975 are very much a band and very much going strong. Actually, they have 4 #1 albums in the UK and have performed on SNL and The Tonight Show. So I want him to know that. So just so you know, Kyle.
No, I know they're a band. I just don't know if they're still a thing.
No, there was a whole bit where Michelle thought they were on the Warped Tour or something.
No, that was Kyle.
No, I said they were on the Warped Tour, and she thought that was a completely different band we were talking about.
I thought it was the old 97s.
Yeah.
Getting back into what Mohammed Reza says for us, it says, lastly, I listened to the NXS album that you recommend, and I admit that I'm not a huge fan of pop rock music, but I enjoyed it a lot. My favorite song was Loved Ones. I'm more of a classic rock 80s kind of guy. So I have a suggestion. I'm an addict of 80s songs and would like for you and Kyle and, of course, Michelle to talk about your favorite songs from that era and recommend some great music, because even though I feel like I've listened to all of the classic rock songs, there might be some bands and songs that are underrated. For example, Boston has just the 2 or 3 songs that everybody knows, but pretty much all the songs that are not known by them, when you hear those songs, you realize how great they are. Sorry for the long message, but I hope you read it, and I appreciate it if you would use my real name on your show, which is what I attempted to do at the beginning, so apologies if I was incorrect on that. But I will say that, first of all, we have a lot of episodes that we've done in the past that are focused on the 80s. So I would tell you maybe to go back through the back catalog. And also, although Michelle and Kyle continue to abstain from our YouTube channel, that is one of the focuses of our YouTube channel, is to have videos on like 5 underrated songs from this era, 5 underrated songs from that band, that type of thing. So I would strongly encourage you, if you haven't, and this is not just a shameless plug, this is because that's what our YouTube channel content is like. You could head there as well. And then in the future, I'm sure we'll be more than than happy to circle back to the 80s more than a few times.
I was just about to get ready to go on the YouTube channel, and then you moved.
Yeah, I'm certain that's absolutely what it was. And I can't see you right now through the miracle of video technology, so there's no way you could appear on the YouTube channel now. So
can you see me now?
I can. Did you know that did you know that moving you closer to your camera doesn't move you closer to your microphone?
What?
Moving right along. Our jammies. Everything's going to be an upheaval from now on. I'm going with Kyle first.
Oh, God.
Yep, I'm going with Kyle first. So, Kyle, you're the benefactor of Michelle throwing a fit about me always going first in our Jammy Jams. So, what have you been listening to, Kyle?
It's been a lot of Mike Period.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And Kasky released a new album recently within the last couple weeks.
Gotcha. Was the Mike Period new material, or he
did put out a single with some random person I've never heard of before, which I have been listening to, but it's just been that's actually what put me on the roll of listening to a bunch of his stuff. And it's just feel good music, man.
Right on. You can't be mad at that. I personally think the world needs a lot more feel good music.
The Kasky record, I follow him on social media, and he's very, very active. He runs his own shit, is commenting back to everybody and yada yada yada. And it's different than what you may have heard from him in the past, or if you got into him because he did that record with Yellow Wolf or whatever. And there's always people commenting oh man, I really like your old stuff, and I wish you'd just go back and make music like that. And he's always bro, I'm evolving. What are you talking about? Get away from me.
That we've touched on that with topics in the past too, and it's always a catch-22 because it's as an artist you want to evolve, but then if your fans like one thing that you make, it's kind of artists who want to evolve get stuck in between a rock and a hard place quickly.
Which I think is why so many artists do not evolve.
Oh, for sure. Maroon 5. Excuse me, I had a Maroon 5 in my throat. But anyways, what type of music is this? What type of music did Kasky make before, and what's he making now?
So it's still rap, but I don't know, it's just different. He's just done different things over time and has evolved. When he did that record with Yellow Wolf, it was very much showing his skills, basically showing his rap skills up, because he was on the record with Yellow Wolf, and Yellow Wolf is a well-known rapper. Mm-hmm. It's more rap, but I don't know. He's just experimenting with doing different things. Cool.
And as always, and this is a shameless plug, we do a Spotify playlist every week, and we post links to it all around. So you can subscribe to or follow, or I don't even know what it is on Spotify. Go to Spotify and do whatever you need to do to make sure you're looking at that playlist every week. And we always include tracks from everything we talk about in every episode right in one spot. So if you're listening to this episode and you hear artists mentioned and you forget to look them up later, we've already done that work for you. So having said that, I'm going to my Jammy Jams next. And this week I finally got around to listening to the latest effort from, I listened to Adele, and we've actually covered that on the show already, but I don't expect you to remember that. I got around to listening to the latest effort from Def Leppard, and the record is called Diamond Star Halos. And I mean this in the nicest possible way that I can mean it. It's a Def Leppard record, but
so they did not evolve.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is it's a late era Def Leppard record. So this is not Hysteria. This is not Pyromania. This is the later Def Leppard era, Now, Promises, Slang, poppy Def Leppard, almost Bon Jovi-ish.
Yeah.
Def Leppard, less on the hard rocket and more on the pop focus, which is not a bad thing. Def Leppard holds the key to the vault to making poppy hooks that'll stick in your head. So that's good. The one thing that really stood out for me on the record is they do a beautiful ballad with Alison Krauss called This Guitar that I liked a great deal. And it's interesting because it's Alison Krauss guesting on a Def Leppard song, but to me, I didn't hear her bring any country to it at all. So, but that was,
I love me some Alison Krauss.
You should check that song out, dude. It's called This Guitar. I'm sure if you just look that up, it'll come up with the Def Leppard track. I honestly don't know that there's much else on the record that you would like, unless you really like anything Def Leppard's done in the last 10 years. It sounds like more of that. Okay. But that one, let me put it this way. After listening to the record at least 2 or 3 times through, that's the only song that I went back to be let me make sure to hear that one track again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, having said that, the world is waiting, Michelle. I saw you quickly look at your phone to see what you might have been listening to this past week.
Yeah.
So, what are your jammy jams, Michelle? Is this a really sweet audiobook?
No,
A little bit of NPR.
It's podcasts. There have been a couple good podcasts, but for me this week, which was a point of contention in our group chat, was the Kelly Clarkson single that she released.
Oh, the Billie Eilish cover that she released?
Debatable.
I sat my phone down the other day after that conversation and had to pace around our house and have deep breaths before I came back to pick my phone up.
Anyways, it's debatable if it's the Billie Eilish cover.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the exact same song.
It's in 2 different tracks. Anyways, I'm kidding, and I know that it's the Billie Eilish cover now.
You sure didn't last Friday, but go on.
It's fine. Because I listened to the second part first, and anyways.
That's what I get for getting wrapped up in Michelle's fucking shenanigans, because she's like, here, listen to this. This doesn't sound like this, does it? And I'm like, no, it doesn't sound like that. And she's like, it's not the same song. It's a different one, but it's got the same name.
Kyle, this isn't the last time that I'm going to say this to you, and it's certainly not the first time that I've said it to you on these airwaves or in person.
I already know what you're going to say.
You were warned. You were warned. Michelle, please go on about how much you love this Kelly Clarkson cover of the Billie Eilish song Happier Than Ever from the Billie Eilish album Happier Than Ever.
I enjoy the cover a lot. I like the second half better than the first half, but
you know, it's crazy.
once you figured out they go together,
released the goddamn second half first.
Anyways, I'm really excited to hear what the rest of the album will sound like. Did you say there was a date, Russ?
No, I don't know. I don't know when it's coming out, and I do know this, that it's all covers. The whole record is covers. I know that. That's why it's called Kellyoke.
Kellyoke.
And I know that you're upset by this term, but it's going to be an EP, not a full LP.
I don't know the difference, man.
It's not going to be a full length album. That's all it means.
Extended?
Yes, extended play, because a single is 2 songs. So more than 2 songs is an extended play.
Let's not get into this again.
So is that all you've been listening to? What else have you been listening to?
So we went to see Orville Peck on Tuesday.
Oh, you sure did.
And since I know nothing about this man, I decided to bone up on some Orville Peck this week.
And how did that go for you? Wait, are we bordering a second unjam?
No, I like it. I like it. It's just like you were saying, like an artist sometimes doesn't change. They just kind of do more of the same. I feel like his 3 albums are.
Yes, they all sound exactly alike. I totally agree.
So like there's no growth, but I don't mind what he's done and I like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like any of the songs that he does, I could not tell you what album they're on. They all sound exactly the same.
Gotcha.
But I do.
I don't think that there will be any growth there because there is that niche. All the people that you've seen at the concert, that is who he's playing to, and that's who wants to hear the exact same shit over and over and over again that he sings.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we had a great time, and I've been scouring the internet to find out who he actually is. So that's been my week.
You'll update us when you find out.
I know.
Oh, she's already claimed that she's found out, and she's been obsessed with it ever since we went to see him. You
know what? We could actually turn that into a full topic sometime. Secret identities and alternate identities and whatnot. Cover Chris Gaines to some extent. We could cover
that's a good idea.
Buckethead,
Slipknot,
for sure.
Daft Punk.
Slipknot, Daft Punk. Yep. And
Michelle,
you are in charge
Marshmallow.
of looking. You are in charge of looking all those people up, Michelle.
To see like who they are or who they actually are.
Yes, who they are for real.
Okay.
So anyways, are those 2 your Jamie Jams?
That was it.
Right on. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's summertime. So we're going to get into the songs of the summer. What is a song of the summer and what are some of our favorites? We're going to talk it up when we get back. You're listening to the Infectious Groove Podcast on the Out Buns Media Network.
Hey, it's Dalton.
And Sam.
We want to tell you about our podcast called Big 10 Plus 4.
Are you a college football fan who doesn't want to always be talking about the SEC?
Are you a college basketball fan who's tired of hearing how the Big 10 doesn't win in the big dance?
Then we're the show for you. Check us out each week on the Odd Pods Media Network. We bring you college sports with a Big 10 flavor.
Big Ten Plus 4, college sports with Midwest perspective, blue collar and blue blood.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews, with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
We're back. It's Russ, Kyle, and Michelle. And this week we are going to do one of our regular discussion topics. And if you are a longtime listener of the show or new to these parts, generally we have about a 3-week rotation going these days. We do an album review, which we rotate through each one of us on who's going to pick it. And actually the next album review that's coming up is going to be an audience pick. So that'll be cool. Then episode after that, we do a cover battle between a very famous original and very famous cover song. And then in between, sandwiched and all of that, we just have stuff that crosses our mind. Like if you were with us before the break, Michelle wants to know who certain people are hiding behind their identity.
What's your Christian name?
And so in the future, we will make sure to cover that. And what we decided to talk about this week, since we are going into summer in most parts of the world, we thought it would be fun to talk about songs of the summer. And I don't even know that there's a definition for this. So I went to Urban Dictionary.
Oh boy.
Which is the place you go for like all your news.
Yes. That's the only dictionary I use, actually.
Right.
Yeah. That explains a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know we can close the doors on the podcast. Now, so many questions just answered. Good one. Good observation, Kyle. Before I read the Urban Dictionary definition of Song of Summer, I will put it before you guys and start with Kyle. What, in your opinion, makes something like the Song of Summer?
You can look at it two ways. You can look at it where it's a song that's talking about summer and you play that song at barbecues or, at the pool, at the lake, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or you can look at it where it's a song that kind of takes you back and to that place where you feel like it's summer, like mentally, even if it could be 10 degrees outside and you listen to the song, you're like, God damn, like I'm right back at the beach, like pounding a cold one with the boys, whatever.
Right. See, and that's the songs that I have listed, like my favorites over time. I brought a couple that people will be like, oh, for sure. Yeah, those are songs of summer because they're talking about summer or whatever. But then I have other ones that make absolutely no sense. And you would never consider, quote, a song of the summer, but they remind me of not only summer, but very specific summers.
Exactly.
Michelle, where do you weigh in on this whole topic?
So songs of summer to me is the songs that I would like to hear while I'm sipping on a margarita in a pool. That's what I gauged my list over.
That's your definition of Song of Summer.
That is my Song of Summer. However, now that Kyle mentions it,
oh boy,
I do have a few last minute ads about bringing my memories into play and songs that remind me of summer. Yeah,
I have at least 3 on my list that are absolutely like memory based that take me back to an exact time and place, and no one would ever consider them songs of summer, but they remind me of very specific summers. So what we'll do, Michelle, is we'll go through the rest of this topic and we'll all find out together if you have any chance of remembering the ones that you're saying are sparked by memories.
I should have written down.
So. Can you remember the memories?
No.
So, and actually, I would bet that we're going to match up on one of them. I bet one of mine will help you remember one of yours.
I actually have kind of a lengthy list because I thought that we might match up on some of them. So I added some more.
Well, we'll get into it. Some of mine are way unorthodox, but I definitely have at least 2 that I think that we'll all match up on. Having said that, let's go to the Urban Dictionary and see what they have to say about the Song of Summer. So according to the Urban Dictionary, the definition of Song of Summer is a song with a happy, triumphant, and sometimes reflective tone. The tone reminds people of summer, and if not played in the summer, can invoke a short-lived spring feeling. Some examples are Riptide by Vance Joy and Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy.
I agree. What they said.
I don't believe I've heard this.
I don't agree with those song choices, but I agree with that definition.
I figured Kyle was going to have an issue with that. I don't think I've heard Riptide by Vance Joy, even though it was Michelle's Jamie Jams a couple weeks ago. And Kyle, I think that was one of the songs you mentioned as like being a popular one of his.
No, I said that, and I've heard it.
Yeah, she said that she heard it on the radio, and I was like,
hold on, time out. Michelle, how can you remember specific things that were said at points in the episode, but you can't remember the whole episode? Like what the overall...
I remember when I'm right.
Which is why she remembers so little, because she's barely ever right.
Shut up.
I was going to say, you teed him up for that.
Oh.
I even stepped aside at the base. I was like, all right, just go ahead and hit that out of the park. Good Lord. I don't know. I don't even know that I'd call Sugar We're Going Down one that people would classify as a song. Maybe Thanks for the Memories, but not Sugar We're Going Down.
The memories?
Oh, right. Michelle bringing boobies into it. You know what? As far as some of our favorites, we will go ahead and start with Kyle since you have a little longer list. Why don't you knock out a couple that are on your list, Kyle, and we'll see if either of the three of us or the two of us match up with you.
Perfect. I have a little mini story time here for you.
Oh, boy.
So this past weekend, I want you to like get in the zone here. I want you to imagine this happening. This past weekend, we're out at this campground that's bigger than any campground you've ever seen in your life. Mm-hmm. We're cruising in a golf cart. Me and Michelle are going to go to the lake to watch the sunset.
Got it.
Right. It's very romantic. Everyone's like barbecuing and partying and doing whatever. So
this all sounds familiar, and I can get in the mindset. It's just you haven't covered Michelle falling down yet.
So we get in the golf cart, this fancy golf cart that her dad has put this very fancy sound system in.
Right on.
We hook up the phone to the Bluetooth. Mm-hmm. The first thing I play is Cruisin' by Smokey Robinson, and she says, I hate this song.
Wow. How do you hate that song?
So back when Kyle was courting me, we had a playlist of songs that went back and forth, and he put that one on, and I was like, oh, I think this is over. I just don't like that song. I don't like it. I don't think I like Smokey Robinson.
Mind to continue that? We're
do you guys want
these little?
I'm sorry, Kyle. I do not mean to talk over you, but can you take the rest of this episode? I'm gonna go. What do you mean you don't like Smokey Robinson?
Name another Smokey Robinson song.
Are you doing a bit from The Office?
I was doing it.
You should just stop while you're ahead.
I was doing the Office thing.
Yeah. There's so many. Tears of a Clown. They got the Smoke Man opening for Paul Anka. I'm sorry, Kyle. What was your reaction to Michelle saying all of that going to be?
So we're in this golf cart and like we're driving. I like crank it. And so everyone can hear it as we're driving by, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like, this is great. And she just has to ruin the entire moment, the entire feeling by, I hate this song.
That's another T-shirt idea right there. Just an Infectious Group podcast. Michelle ruined the entire moment.
Infectious Group podcast. I hate this song.
I don't know. That song is not about summer, but it very much is. Mm-hmm. It very much gives you the feeling of cruising in a car with the top down, Woodward or whatever here in the summertime. And
yeah.
I adore that song. And
I would agree with that.
Michelle hates it.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? What's another one or two?
So past story time now. I got Chicago Saturday in the Park.
I did not have that on my list. That's a good one.
To go further, I have The Boys of Summer by Don Henley.
Yeah.
Not the Ataris?
Not the Ataris?
No, not the Ataris.
I could go either way on that, though. I like either version of that.
Do you?
I do. Yeah. And actually, that has the only Russ-approved change of lyrics in a cover ever.
From Deadhead to what?
To Black Flag.
Black Flag,
because the sentiment of the lyric absolutely applies to both bands' fans.
Oh, yeah. That's totally true.
It's a brilliant change of a lyric. I don't even like it when, say, a female artist covers a male song and they change it to like he or she. Like, just sing the song the way it is. You know, like that song is written about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that change in that lyric from Deadhead to Black Flag is the only thing I've ever, like, the very first time I heard their cover, I was like, what they just, oh my God, that's brilliant. You know, Michelle, hit us with the goodness that is not by Smokey Robinson. Something good that wasn't written by his trash bag hand. What? Yeah, I mean the man only wrote "Who's Loving You" and "My Girl."
Tears of a Clown.
Yeah, I mean he wrote "My Girl," but you know whatever.
Maybe I'm a little bit of a fan.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you are a fan. What have you got for us? Name one of your songs of summer, please.
So I would also like to set the mood.
I didn't realize I was here for story time twice. We should put this on Patreon as an exclusive.
When I was 16 and I got my license, my very first car had a sunroof and no air conditioning. So I used to, when it got really, really hot, I used to find sprinklers that were spraying in the road and drive back and forth so that I would cool down in my car, because I used to just go, tooling around town. Mm-hmm. And the song that I would always play, and I still do, the very first day of summer in Michigan, when you can roll down the windows and it's just like you can breathe the air and it's not muggy yet, like the very beginning of summer, always brings me back to that car, and riding through the sprinklers is The Way You Make Me Feel by Michael Jackson.
Oh, right on.
It's not a summer song, but it's the first song that I play when I need to get back into that headspace.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Like, I mean, like,
and you got to put on your winter coat the next day.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's false summer is what they call that in Michigan. So
you move on to like Dirty Diana or something like off the same record, but that applies more to winter.
Yeah.
The first one I'm going to mention is one of two that I really don't have any stories for, but I do have stories for. I didn't even realize I have stories for the other three, but this one for me just sounds like everything to do with summer, and that's "Summer in the City" by Love and Spoonful. Which just even the way it's, I mean, the song is describing summer in the city, like it just like the whole song paints such a cool picture of like the inner city. Like when I hear that song, I think of late 60s Detroit, Chicago, or New York. And like that's what I see in my head. So that is the first one that I have that really has nothing to do with it other than I just hear it and it instantly makes me think of summer no matter when I hear it. Kyle, what's another one you have?
Bill Withers' Lovely Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love any Bill Withers, but yeah, I would say.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's not, it's not specifically, it's not specifically talking about summer, but like, a lovely day is a lovely day, whether it's spring, summer, winter, fall, whatever you want to call it.
Whether you're with Michelle complaining about Smokey Robinson's songwriting abilities or not. It's a great one.
When she was mentioning her car riding with the sunroof down, I could just imagine her being so pissed off that it was so hot in the car, only complaining for like 15 minutes and then opening the sunroof to let the air in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it works. One that I will share that is no one would ever think of this as a song of summer, but it was in many ways the kickoff to like one of the best summers I've ever had in my whole life. And it was just a song that we listened to nonstop that whole summer was Keep Talking by Pink Floyd, which again, I know is not in any way a song of summer, but it's for me, it came out in like late April of 1994. So it was like, right when it was just starting to get hot and everything. And I saw Pink Floyd a couple of times that summer. And because they were touring the world, like me and all my friends were all like, keeping track of everything going on with the tour. And we just listened to that song like nonstop. So that's one that no one would ever in 1 million years think of as a song of summer. But for me, it's as soon as that song starts, I'm like in my head, I'm right back in the summer of 1994. Michelle, do you have more story time to share or just more songs?
I do have another story time that you just reminded me of.
Oh boy. Cool.
I guess I don't have to write it down since I'm going to talk about it right now.
Sure.
All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor.
That is on my list. And what was the other song we listened to that whole summer? There were two. I burned a CD with 2 songs on it, literally for a trip. Because I have this as one, like because we listened to the 2 songs so much that one summer. We had burned a CD with All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor and Bang Bang by Ariana Grande. Yeah. Ariana Grande and Jessie J and Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Yes. And we literally had a CD burned with just those two songs on it.
The song came out right before all of us went up north to a cottage for Memorial Day, I think. And we had a drunken dance party. And I think Russ just put that song on a loop for like 3 hours.
That sounds like something I would do.
And every time it came on, we all acted like it was the first time we had heard it for the night. And that song instantly brings me back to that night.
Yeah, but if
the summer night,
if you drink enough, you will forget the previous 3 minutes. So it could have been the first time you heard it.
That's true.
If you have 5 cc's of tequila, then
right,
then you will probably.
Would you have another one that you want to share that was not that the story?
Caribou Lou, man.
Oh my God.
This is my second request for someone else to take the show over for the remainder of the.
And then we procured some fucking Caribou Lou beer, and it's fucking terrible.
It is terrible, but that song, man. Okay, this is a twofer: Caribou Lou and Shots by LMFAO. Those songs, man. If it's warm outside and I've had like just enough to drink, it's fucking over. Like I am dancing to those songs.
For my part, totally forgot that Caribou Lou song existed until you just mentioned it, and now I'm upset that I remember that's real.
You'll like it.
What is it that he says? Is that the one where he says near the end something? I'm drinking it because they're paying me for it.
They're not paying. I'm drinking it, and they're not paying me for it.
Right on, Kyle. I'm sorry I talked over you.
When I first met Michelle, she referenced that song at some point, and I was like, "You do realize that he like." As other music, right? Like that. That's like, there's like 10,000 other Tech Nine songs that have nothing to do with that song.
Not in Michelle's world.
Yep.
Kyle, what can you possibly top those two choices?
Oh, I got more. Don't worry.
Right on.
Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams.
Oh, we talk a lot on the show about staying positive and not. I will opt out of any discussion involved. I swear to God, it's one of my least favorite songs I've ever heard in my whole life. And I know really? I'll probably take hate for it. I'm sure everybody loves that song but me. I don't know why. I hate it. So you two talk amongst yourselves about that song.
It's just, I feel like it's something that you always hear in the summertime. Whether like, that doesn't make me think of summertime, but it definitely, it's something that made kind of in the summertime. You hear it at barbecues. You hear it at bars, wherever you're going in the summer.
Oh, I know it gets played constantly. I know it gets played.
See, I mean, you pay attention extra, especially because you hate it.
Yeah. Well, the places you just listed, bars, barbecues, holiday camping, those are all the places I've complained about hearing that song. So.
Hand to God, I didn't know you liked that song.
Oh yeah, I just hate it. I don't know why I hate that song. One that I'll throw out there that has nothing to do with anything other than I just think this is a song that everyone should listen to at least once every summer is Kokomo by the Beach Boys.
That's on my list.
Yeah. Do you have a story to go with it, Michelle, or do you just?
I don't have a story to go to that one except for where did they shoot the video?
Right. Yeah, the Scrubs reference. Was that on your list at all, Kyle? Kokomo?
It was not, but I totally agree.
Yeah. Michelle, what were you going to further insight regarding Kokomo?
Oh, I just I think that might be one of my most favorite Beach Boy songs. And,
of course. Michelle, what
does that even mean?
You gave Pet Sounds a 5 out of 10, and then you gave their most highly regarded artistic work a 5 out of 10, and then said that Kokomo was your favorite. People with working ears, which you've already made me feel bad about for saying on the show, but I'm gonna stick by that. Do you have another one to share, Michelle?
I do. I wasn't prepared to go again.
Well, we can have Kyle give us a couple more. He's got a long list.
I got four more.
My last one on my list currently, unless I remember some more, is Mambo number 5.
This is an ongoing list.
Yeah, she's making it up as she goes. I'm sorry, Michelle. Was that Mambo's number 1 through 4?
No. The 5th one.
Okay. Lou Bega's Fifth Symphony.
Mambo.
I can remember. This one does have a story. When it was probably middle school, and the CD came out, and my friend had bought the CD, and I had the Discman, And so we would put it in there and walk around the block, and we would take turns listening to the headphones, so we could just be outside in the summertime listening to that song on repeat. And yeah, it was glorious.
I give you a lot of crap for a lot of things on the show, but that's adorable. That's an adorable story right there.
It would have been like the finishing touch would have been if you guys shared the same earbuds.
There was no earbuds when I was in middle school, man.
Yeah, well then when you I realized that now. They were over the head ones.
Yeah, so we had to share, and I live 4 houses down from where I was then, and I literally was walking around these blocks listening to Mambo Number 5 on repeat.
That's awesome. That's an adorable story.
Oh, thanks.
Kyle, you said you have 4 more?
Yep.
Okay, I only have one more that I brought to the table, and it has nothing to do with summer. It's very close to the Pink Floyd type story. But why don't you share like 3 of the 4, and then we'll go through the last 2 before we round out the episode.
Okay, so I have American Pie by Don McLean.
Yeah, I'd say. Like, I don't have any personal affinity toward that song, but I think a lot of people listen to it in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't, but it always ends up, at barbecues and pool parties, and you literally cannot avoid that song during the summertime.
Yep.
There is also a Calvin Harris song called "Summer," which everyone who's listening is probably like, "What the hell song is that?" But then when we go put it on the playlist and you go and listen to it, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah." When you're listening to it, you're going to be like, oh, I need to find someone to make me a margarita.
It's totally one. I was going to say, it's totally one of those songs that when anybody hears it, they'll be like, oh, I totally know this.
Yes, everyone knows that song, but because he's not he's hugely a huge, well-known act, but like he doesn't get mentioned very often when it comes to stuff like this. So like you've heard it on the radio, you heard it on playlists, you've heard it all over the place. So you will recognize it, and then you will want a margarita immediately afterwards.
Right on. What else do you got?
I got Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Oh my God, that's such a good one. I forgot about that one.
I fucking love that song.
I don't.
Love it.
This is so weird to have a non-stance on Katy Perry, but she's just there for me. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't dislike that song at all. And I do totally agree that it's a song of the summer, but it's just not one that okay. So if you put that on, I won't immediately rush to the stereo and ask what's wrong with you and then ask you to never turn it on again. But
is that the one with the Kanye rap in it? Is it Kanye?
Nope. That's, I think that's called DNA.
There's a Dark Horse.
There you go. Yeah, she says DNA in the song. Yeah, it's called Dark Horse.
Okay. Anyways.
So I was gonna say when Russ was saying that, I don't really Katy Perry myself, but I fucking love Teenage Dream. I fucking love Horse.
That right on.
Hands down.
Right on. The last one I'm going to share is one that, again, this is so out there, and it would be, I don't think anybody else on Earth's song of the summer, but it's very specific for me, is Amish Paradise by Weird Al. When that record came out in 96, when Bad Hair Day came out in 96, I was living like far away from my friends at that point, and I hadn't really made any new friends in the new city that I was living in. And I bought Bad Hair Day on the strength of, I was a Weird Al fan anyways, but I also bought it on the strength of Amish Paradise. And then I ended up making a friend through Weird Al. Like, a person was like, oh, fuck, I love Weird Al too, you know? And so we listened to that album like nonstop, but that song got played. That song was everywhere that summer anyways. Like, that was it's kind of like White and Nerdy for Weird Al, where it was like a really big hit that got played as much as the original. So for me, the Amish Paradise is one of those ones that, like, as soon as I hear it, I just instantly am in the whole summer of 96 and all the awesome stuff that happened then.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Kyle, I believe you should have at least one more for us.
I have one more for everyone, and you guys are going to try to fling poo at me for this.
Oh boy. Kyle does Maroon 5. Oh no. Hard disagree.
Oh my God, I don't know why I do love me some Maroon 5 in general.
I know he really.
You guys already know. We've already gotten the Maroon 5 battles before, but
no, for sure.
I love me some Maroon 5, and this song just fucking makes me happy. Unlike Pharrell's song "Happy." Yeah. I don't know what it is about this song, but damn it, it's a fucking goddamn summer jam.
Right on.
I would agree. I think I would agree. I think I'm in your. I do tend to like Maroon 5 overall, but that song I can definitely see being a summer jam.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I think that She Will Be Loved moves like Jagger. I think Maroon 5 has a lot of songs you would consider the song of the summer. Literally, I just had one pop into my head that I can't believe none of us mentioned that I will, we'll kind of close the topic on. Smooth by Santana.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Rob Thomas?
Yes, the version of Smooth where Rob Thomas is singing. Yes, that's the one that I'm referring to. Fun fact about that song.
Yeah.
Do you know the only reason that's a Santana song? Because Rob Thomas wrote it.
No, I don't know why it's a Santana song.
Rob Thomas wrote that for a Mick Jagger solo album, and Mick Jagger told Rob Thomas that would not be a hit. So it went on to Carlos Santana, who...
It was a hit.
Who believed it would be a hit, and then as a matter of fact, it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
But would you both agree with that? I think that
Yeah.
should be like in the top 5 of like songs of summer, and none of us, including me, even thought to mention it in the discussion so far.
That's more so a song of the summer than some of the ones I listed. Like that shit. Yeah, I totally agree.
Oh, well, it's definitely more of a song of the summer than Pink Floyd's Keep Talking. So, so anyways, we always want to hear from the listeners, and not only to tell us some of your favorite songs of the summer, have a story time. Tell us, stories. Michelle and Kyle have opened up the floor to story time.
Do you know anyone who got in a golf cart with their girlfriend and was sadly disappointed by,
got in a golf cart with their girlfriend and got told Smokey Robinson is a bad songwriter?
Pick better songs, man.
Jesus H. Christ. On the program next week, we have actually a special and different episode coming to everybody next week. And I just kind of want to let everybody know this ahead of time. The Monday after you're hearing this episode, it will be a solo episode with me, with a message from the three of us. And it's going to be an artist-specific episode. All will be revealed eventually. There's a very specific time and place for this specific episode of the show. So that is what we were going to have lined up next week on the program. So you guys will all hear from me solo with a message that is approved by all three of us regarding a artist that is important to us here on the show. And then after that, when we come back with all three of us, which for those of you keeping track at home, that does mean Michelle gets an unexpected week off. Yeah, what she's
a bonus week. Holy shit.
A bonus week. Kyle, see if you can turn it into a boner week. Who knows? See what you can do. Don't play Smokey Robinson, though. That's just a pro tip.
I will not. I've learned my lesson now.
Yeah. So when we reconvene with the three of us, we're going to be back to a cover battle, and we have a good one picked for that as well. So we are looking forward to bringing you all sorts of great content, but please make sure to write in and tell us your favorite songs of the summer, or what you even think a song of the summer is, or what you think about some of our picks are. We always love to hear back from you, so please make sure to share that with us. Like we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Bye.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.